Getting to the summary, Fox hasn't had the easiest life. After her dad died, her mom became a serious, sometimes violent addict, and this forced Fox to leave, including leaving her little sister Spooky behind. Sadly, she went from an addict and a violent person in her mom to Goldie, who's a drug dealer who also was sometimes abusive. But with some time passing and Fox believing she saw Spooky while on the dance floor somewhere, it seems that Fox plans to not only escape Goldie, but also figure out a way to save her little sister and also the other ladies who are in Goldie's family who have become like surrogate sisters to her as well. But whether or not she can do that without getting killed in the process, that's hard to say. So, getting to the review section, I will say the majority of characters have just enough to be memorable, and it's either going to be because you saw them in something else or simply because a lot of these characters have the kind of presence where you can tell that with the right script, with the right scene partner, they could actually really give you something. Now, unfortunately, for many of them, that special thing usually is something that's kind of makes them weird. Like when it comes to Michelle Pratt as Frankie, and Michelle Pratt you probably know from Viva, which was on Stars, she's a little bit kooky, a little bit, out of her mind because she's a veteran who's seen some stuff. But still, everybody's given that something. Even for the people who are in Goldie's circle who don't get much of any lines, they have a look, they have a presence, they have something that makes it so that you hope that eventually Fox is able to save them and have this ideal family that she's looking for. But unfortunately, if you've seen most of Karen Shipka's recent movies, this will feel very much like it's what you're used to. It has her playing someone scrappy, sarcastic, and while it's not the worst stick out there, it is starting to lose its luster, and even the humor feels a bit dialed in. And I would even go as far to say that when it comes to the vibe it's going for, it's very much like Totally Killer in terms of it has the superficial parts of what it's trying to display in terms of giving you this kind of 60s, 70s action movie vibe, even though this movie I think takes place in the late 80s, if not the early 90s. But in terms of making it so that it has the depth that you see that it could be with this, like you would see in a lot of 60s and 70s movies in terms of, yes, they'll have that comic relief character, but still it has that sort of heart, it has that sort of darkness that reminds you that this is some real deal stuff that's just given some type of means of to alleviate it so that it's a little bit more palatable. I don't feel like whether you're going to talk about Fox's PTSD from losing her father, the abuse she went through with Goldie or her mom, or even a situation she has with Spooky, it really doesn't honor those emotions the way it could have to really make this movie pop and stand out. Instead, it's more so geared toward being an action comedy in ways that where it's not really funny in the action. It's not good enough to really give it any notable type of praise. It's just getting to the overall. It's a lot of decent actors who, when they have the right script, they can really go. But when it comes to Stone Cold Fox, they aren't given what they need. So ultimately, this feels like something that a streaming platform may pick up for the sake of content in terms of giving its audience something new, but it'll quickly enter the void of its library and probably only be discovered by fans who didn't even know this came out.